important to be here physically when you can easily, whenever you know, right now it's in the winds that are going on, the weather, you have to get up early from the bed, etc. It's difficult, isn't it? Yeah? Some people I know they still wanting to go sleep more. You have to get up, be here at 10 o'clock. What did Rasulullah, what was his practice when the winds used to blow like how they're blowing outside? Anybody knows? What was the action of Rasulullah and the Sahaba when the wind used to blow like this, how it's doing outside? Anybody else knows? Yes? They used to come to the masjid. Look, see, they came to the masjid. And where are we? We're in the masjid, right? So we are already fulfilling a sunnah of Rasulullah. But what is very important is the sacrifice that you make. If you want to gain knowledge, you have to go to the teacher. The Sahaba used to go to their teacher. There are stories of Sahaba. They used to go to their teachers, which also used to be Sahaba. Does everybody know the meaning of Sahaba, the definition of Sahaba? Anybody? Who is a Sahabi? Yeah? Anybody who's been and seen Rasulullah? Yeah? Okay. What about Abu Lahab? Abu Lahab's seen him, he's been with him. Is he a Sahabi? Why not?
Those who are around him, those who are with him.
Those who are with him, yeah, that's definitely a condition. They have to be around his era. Those that have not seen Rasulullah physically, they cannot be defined as a Sahabi. But Abu Lahab, Abu Jahl, Walid bin Mughira, all of these people have been around Rasulullah. Why are they not Sahaba? That's part of being with him, yeah? They were against him, but more importantly, they did not bring Iman. They did not die on Iman. So the two conditions of a Sahabi, this is one for the notes probably. One is that the person at that time has to be with Rasulullah. They have seen him at least once in their life. I say at least once because people used to come from other countries to him to learn knowledge and they never saw him again. Some people saw him at the final khutbah of the final Hajj and they only saw him once. And they passed away on Iman. These are the two conditions of being a Sahabi. Okay? Okay, what if the Sahaba, what if the Sahabi is blind? He's not seen Rasulullah, but he's been with him. Can he be categorized as a Sahabi? No? Yes? No? Yes? You say yes? No? Yes? Yes? They will be. So the definition now becomes anybody who has seen Rasulullah and has passed away in Iman, or Rasulullah has seen him, because they were blind Sahaba as well. Okay? So we understand now the Sahaba, right? We understand the Sahaba. So what were we talking about? The Sahabi goes to his teacher and he sits outside his house waiting for the teacher to come by. He doesn't even knock, doesn't disturb him. He sits outside. When the other Sahabi comes out, he says, why didn't you knock? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't he knock? Why not? Anyone? Sign of, yeah? If for respect of the teacher. So you coming here as opposed to watching a video, you are giving more sacrifice than somebody watches a video. The idea is that you pick up things from here today and in these sessions and bring it to your life. If you want to gain knowledge, and this is knowledge is the knowledge of deen. Okay? Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'an is a dua. Ya Allah, give me knowledge which is beneficial. What we learn in schools and universities is not knowledge, these are skills. Okay? These are skills for our livelihood, these are skills for us to be professionals, etc., etc. Real knowledge is the knowledge of Islam. Okay? So, going to the teacher and to get real knowledge, you have to give it your complete self. If you're sitting here, you're half dozing off, you're not paying attention, this is not how you will gain knowledge. If you want to gain knowledge, you have to give it your complete self, your complete dedication, and part of that is to be here, physically present, on time, when we have these sessions. Okay? This is our first session, alright? And we're going to be discussing the life of Rasulullah. In the future, we could discuss different topics, but this itself, we can't do justice, okay? Anybody who's ever done the Seerah of Rasulullah, it doesn't matter who they are, right? They cannot fulfill the right of explaining this man. They cannot. It can't be done. We're not good enough. We're not worthy. But we're going to try to highlight some of the aspects from his life, okay? That's one thing. And what a better month to do it in. Then, what's the month now? What's the Islamic month? Rabiul Awwal. And what's so significant about Rabiul Awwal? Yes? He's born in Rabiul Awwal, okay? And there are some other key events that also took place, like his marriage with Khadija radiallahu anha, the passing away of his grandfather. Various things happened in this month, okay? So this is a good month to do this in, okay? So, let's go to the next slide. Acknowledgements. Okay, so those that are not thankful to the creation of Allah cannot be thankful to Allah. Okay? So we need to learn to be thankful, alright? So acknowledgements are this, alhamdulillah, these sessions have been supported by Ummah Charity, okay? And we've got Sister Zara, Sister Asma, Sister Amna. They have organized in terms of the facilities here, in terms of the registrations, the sending out of the message, getting you guys all together. All of that hard work has been done by those sisters there, and all of the technical, getting this equipment to work, getting the speakers to work, it's been worked on by Brother Arsalan and Brother Tariq. And most of all, Brother Tariq is not here, by the way, he's in East London, some of you know him. Most of all, the idea was generated by Mufti Al-Wahab. Everybody knows Mufti Al-Wahab? I hope so. Alright, he's the chairman of Ummah Charity. He's sitting just on the other side of the door right now. The idea generated from him, we discussed it, and about 3 weeks back, and we said, look, we want to do this for the youth. Yeah? So those are some of the acknowledgement people who are behind it. Have I missed anyone? No. Okay. So, some ground rules, right? These are monthly 1-hour interactive sessions, okay? Interactive in the sense that how I'm asking you, okay, and then you raise your hands. Very good, you've been raising your hands, you haven't been shouting. These are some of the etiquettes, okay? But question and answer lead to the end. Don't ask questions because then we'll just, the flow will not be there. We will give time at the end. Write your questions down. If I can answer it at the end, I'll answer it. Otherwise, we'll take it to the next session, okay? But they are interactive, so you guys keep awake, you guys keep engaged, keep interested. You're thinking, right? When you are asked a question, you're thinking automatically about what the response might be. So these are monthly 1 hour. We can change the frequency depending on your feedback. There will be a feedback box. Where's the feedback box? She's bringing the feedback box. At the end, there will be time. You can write your feedback on the session. Feedback's always going to be the positives and also the improvements. Never negatives. Never give anybody a negative feedback. They're not going to like it. But improvements, okay? So think about what that feedback might be. We want your feedback. The good things we want to know as well, so the things that we might be doing right, and also the what we can improve on, okay? Sorry, the acknowledgement, I should be acknowledging you guys as well. So we should say Jazakallah khair to all of you for coming here, taking the time out. Without you, we can't do these sessions. But try and also get more friends, family. If you like it, tell them the benefits. You are the people who are going to bring your friends in. For me to convince your friend is not easy, but you to convince your friend is easy, okay? Alhamdulillah, we got a good turnout. Age group is 10 to 18. Under 10, it's going to be very difficult to comprehend some of the words that I talk about, some of the concepts that we discuss. It's just not going to be possible for under 10s. Okay, so we've got, I think most of the group here is alhamdulillah all the group here should be within this age group. If it's older than that, parents, we're not really encouraging them. If they really want to come, they have to sit on the side. They will not be a part of the session, but they can obviously go through, they'll be taking in the content, they'll be learning from it, But this is the group that we really want to target for today, because the language that we use it should be for you guys, right? Rather than somebody else who might have questions. Punctuality is very important, okay? So today's session started at 10 o'clock, okay? And Brother Varis, right? Varis, yeah? So Varis was the first one here, so I think he gets 1 brownie point. No interruptions, no mobile phones used. It's going to distract me, it's going to distract you, it's going to distract me. So no mobile phones, leave them at home. If you've got them, switch them off. Also no talking between yourselves. I will see it. I won't miss it. Even if you're whispering in the next person's ear, I will know. And that will distract me and take me off, right? Intention. So what is the intention that we are here with? Here, this is for you guys now. What intention did you come with? Come on. Everybody came with some intention. Yes.
Seek knowledge.
Seek knowledge. Very good. Yeah, very good. Without the right intention, who knows the first hadith of Sahih Bukhari? Who knows the first hadith of Sahih Bukhari? Anyone? Innamal a'malu bin-niyyat. All our actions depend on our intentions, okay? What are our intentions? What else? Seek knowledge is a good one. What else? Anyone? From the girls?
Spread the knowledge that you know.
Seek it, spread it. Yeah? Okay. For me, my intention, do it for the sake of Allah. This is free of cost. We don't charge for this. Yes, right. Respect it. Respect it. Yeah, okay. So, before coming here, keep it in your mind that I want to learn something today. I don't want to be a part of this because somebody asked me to do it or check it out. Seek knowledge and spread it, okay? What is the importance of Seerah? Why should we learn it? There's no wrong answers. So I know a lot of you have answers in your mind. You're just being a little bit, it might be a bit shy. Don't worry about it. The more you open up, the more you learn. A good student he always asks questions. Okay? Imam Abu Hanifa is one of the Imams, a great Imam. Somebody asked him, what is the secret of your knowledge? And this person was knowledgeable, believe me. What is the secret of your knowledge? Anybody knows what he said? Yeah? One is that, okay. He never hesitated in asking a question. He had a question he asked, right? And secondly, he never hesitated in disseminating his knowledge. If he knew something, he'd make sure the next person receives it. So this is what Allah likes. So what is the importance of Seerah? Come on guys, what do you think? Why should we learn it? You're here for it. You're going to say the same.
Our role model, and this is his love. So we should follow.
Okay, he is our role model, or at least I should say, he should be our role model. Sadly, there are children in the world, even adults, who don't even know who he is. Muslims. In January, I was in South Africa, in Cape Town, and we got hold of a few youngsters, and this was common, this wasn't a one-off, on the side of the road, and I asked them, do you know who Muhammad is? These are Muslim children. I said, do you know who Muhammad is? You don't even know who he is, okay? And when the name comes, what do we say? What do we say? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay, we must say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Jibreel Alayhi Salam, he mentioned once, he said, destruction is for the person who hears the name of Rasulullah Sallallahu and does not say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, does not send salawat on him. And Rasulullah Sallallahu, he said Ameen to that. So we just make sure, right, that happens. Okay. So our intention is that we're going to learn from it and we're going to spread it. Okay. So these are some of the ayats of the Quran, which highlight. There's quite a few. Okay, I don't want to go through all of it. These are some. قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله يغفر الله لكم ذنوبكم والله غفور رحيم. Tell people if you indeed love Allah, follow me and Allah will love you and will forgive you your sins. Allah is all forgiving, all compassionate. The next one, say obey Allah and obey the Messenger. If they turn away from this, then know that Allah does not love those who refuse to obey Him and His Messenger. One more, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ, and you are certainly in the most exalted standard of moral excellence. Okay. this one, obey Allah and obey the Messenger, is actually a command. Any ayat which is telling us something to do, obey Allah, obey the Messenger, this is a command from Allah, and anybody who does not do that is going against the command, is going against the verse of the Quran. Okay? So, it's very, very important that we are following the life of Rasulullah. And then, following on from that, you mentioned one of these points, role model and a perfect example. Okay? Let's be honest. Who are role models today? It doesn't have to be your own. I won't embarrass you, but yeah. Celebrities? Yeah. Scholars? Okay. Yeah. Teachers. Who else? Sports stars, film stars, celebrities, right? These are the kind of role models that we have, okay? Key to success in this life and the hereafter. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Okay, when you go to the airport, right, and you've got a flight, I'm sure all of you have traveled. And you go there, you go to the counter, and and they ask you, where's your passport? And you don't have it. You just don't have it. What's going to happen? You can't make that. You can't go in. You can't make that journey. It's essential for you to have the passport. Now imagine this in the next life, and this is part of our belief. We have this life and we have the next life. Yeah. In the next life, in order to enter our ultimate home, which is paradise, we need a passport. This is my language. We need a passport, and that passport is the Sunnah of Rasulullah. And the quality of our paradise, the home which is forever, the quality of that home, it depends on how much of his life we are following. Okay? How much of his Sunnah is in our life. Yeah? Clear? Come on, cheer up. Why do I see sad faces? Where's the smiles gone? Smile is a sadaqah. It's a good deed, right? In this life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is a way to do everything, right? There's a method of doing everything. Okay? Our ibadat, our work, the way we sleep, eat, dress, etc. It's everything that we do from the morning to the evening. There is a right method and there is a wrong method. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent Rasulullah sallallahu with the perfect method. Not even the right method, the perfect method. The perfect way of doing it. Okay? That means in this life, it could mean health, it could mean blessings, it could mean the thing is done correctly, there's no side effects, etc. So there's so many things encompassed. I don't even have enough words to explain it. But if we deviate from that and we do use another method, then something wrong is going to happen. Okay, something is going to happen which is going to be, maybe may Allah not make it happen, could be harm to us, could be wrong things, etc. We'll see that. As we go through the journey of his life, we will see that happening, right? This is why we have this point. We can follow the Sunnah in all walks of life. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or girl, young, old, rich, poor, everyone can follow the life of Rasulullah. Yesterday's Jummah, the girls might know, but I'm sure of you paid to do Jummah, right? Yesterday's Jummah, what was the topic? What was the topic in Jummahs yesterday? Everywhere. You guys pray Jummah? You were in school? Okay. You're all in school, okay. So Seerah. It's because it's Rabiul Awwal, everybody was talking about Seerah. And Mufti Sahab, he did his one in Bilal Masjid. And he was saying that the life that Rasulullah has demonstrated, it will never be a barrier for anyone. If you don't have anything, I'm really poor, right? We've seen these kind of people, right? For some of our charity projects, when we go into areas they don't have anything. Even they can follow the Sunnah of Rasulullah. Well, how much wealth do you need to do dhikr? Or recite Quran, or pray salah? The way he's demonstrated it, everyone can follow it. If you're a doctor, can you follow the Sunnah of Rasulullah? Yes, you can. He was the best doctor. He used to perform, and we'll see this, he used to perform surgery with his bare hands. Can you believe it? One Sahabi comes out after a battle with his eye out of its place. He uses a little bit of his saliva and he uses his hand and he fixes his eye back. The Sahabi said, I couldn't even remember after some time I couldn't even remember which ayah had come out. It was so perfect. If you're an engineer, can you follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You can. If you're a teacher, can you follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You can. You're a businessman, can you follow it? You can. Who else? What other professions do we have? Aspirations. Obviously, we don't have profession there, but aspirations. Who wants to be what? What do you want to be? Yeah. Football player, yeah? You know, once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a wrestler came to him. A wrestler came to him and he said, you know what? And this guy's a professional wrestler, right? So he said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you beat me in wrestling, I'll accept Islam. And then what happened? What happened? He beat him. So the wrestler said, hold on. I think I wasn't ready. Let's do it again. So they went again, and then what happened second time? He beat Rasulullah, right? No. Rasulullah beat him again. He's a champion in every field. He's just perfect, right? So whatever you want to be, you don't have to be an imam of the masjid to follow the sunnah of Rasulullah. You can be any field that you want, and you can follow it. Okay? You still with me? Every Muslim should know their history. Most of us we've not gone through the Seerah, right? So we can't know our history if we don't know the Seerah. Seerah is the biggest part of the Muslim history, right? Yes, we can know the history of other parts, like maybe Qasas-ul-Anbiya, the stories of the prophets, things like that. But if we haven't done this, for a long time, we didn't really know anything about the life of Rasulullah or what was it. If somebody asks you, somebody once asked me in days of just after university, they said, why do you fast? I didn't do fasting, right? And just as a joke, I said to him, look, we just fast because everybody else fasts. And he made a right fun out of me. And there were two of them, and one of them said to the other, I told you, didn't I? You know what that meant? This guy is a Muslim, he doesn't know why he's practicing. What if somebody comes to you with a question like that? Why are you practicing? What do you know about Islam? How can we even start to convince someone if we are not convinced and we don't even know why we're doing certain things, right? Very, very important. Inshallah, through the coming months, we'll be going through that journey, and inshallah, the idea is to make you confident. Right now, Muslims are not confident. If you know this, you know how to manage those issues. You know how to be a confident Muslim out in the community. You don't want to be like, oh, I don't know if I belong in this community. Should I be more like them? But why? Muslims should be proud of themselves. Inshallah, if we get to things like the history of Spain or something like that, you'll see what Muslims have achieved. We might even have a trip and take you all there. Who knows, man? We want to do that actually. Okay, mercy on mankind, Rahmatul Alameen. Allah is Rabbul Alameen and Rasulullah ﷺ is Rahmatul Alameen. He is mercy on all mankind. And there was a video on YouTube actually, and I'll come to that afterwards. Best of the creation, there's no creation Allah made which is better than Rasulullah ﷺ. Okay, the best of the creation is human beings. Out of human beings, the best are the prophets. Out of the prophets, there are top 5 prophets. Anybody knows who the top 5 are? You're making notes, right? Of these things. Oh, some people are making lots of notes. That's very good. I like that. Very good. But you listening to me at the same time, right? Listening to me is more important than notes, okay? So, where were we? What were we talking about? Let's see who was attentive. Yes?
5.
I want you to talk more.
5.
Very good. 5 top prophets, who knows? Okay? Yes? Who else? Nuh alayhi salam is 1. Adam alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam is 2. Isa alayhi salam 3. The top 2. These are the top 2 left. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is one. Yes. Who hasn't had a go? Come on, guys. What is this? Okay, who is who we're gonna talk about him in a minute. Who built the Kaaba? Ibrahim alayhi salam. Top 5 prophets. Out of the top 5 prophets, Rasulullah is number 1. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not have created anything if He did not create Rasulullah. He is the reason of me and you existing. Just imagine we don't even know his life. Just imagine that. If somebody is a non-Muslim, we can't really tell them, why don't you know about the life of Rasulullah? But as a Muslim, if I don't know it, the best of the creation, just imagine the best of the creation is going to do everything in the best way. Okay, someone asked Aisha radiallahu anha about the noble character and manners of the Prophet ﷺ. She answered, have you not read the Quran? His character is a complete explanation of the Quran. Quran is our book. We need to follow it. It's a guidance, it's a manual for how to spend life. But if me and you read it, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Rayan, what's going to happen? We might not fully understand it. We might not know what to do after reading it. So what's the way to follow Quran? One of the girls? Someone? What's the way to follow Quran? Why has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Prophet? We've got the book. Yeah?
The previous people were eating.
Okay, yeah, that's also one of the reasons. Question is, why has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent prophets when He sent books? You can just read the book. It's all in there. Okay? Prophets are coming, okay, to resurrect the message. People are going astray. But what am I looking for? What's the answer I'm looking for? Yeah. New laws, okay, new books come out. What was in Torah? What was in Injil? Quran has newer things. Yeah, fine. But that's still, the book is there. We've got the book. Why do we need a prophet? Why do we need a prophet?
So you can see it very much.
He is demonstrating the life according to the Quran. Okay? He is the living example. I'm a human being, I'm not a book. I need to see how he does his things according to the Quran. That's the only way. So his life was the Quran, and the Sahaba's life was also the Quran. Once somebody asked about the Quran, and think about this one. Yeah, think about this one, everyone. Pay attention to this one. Once Rasulullah ﷺ was asked, what's the Quran? What's the Quran? Sahabi was walking and he said, that's the Quran. He's pointing to a person, it's not pointing to the Quran. When somebody asks us, what's the Quran? Where are we going to point? There, right? Are they pointing? There, that's the Quran. He's pointing at a person saying that's the Quran. Why was that?
Because he's the one he's a spoiler and he does that thing.
Close. The Sahabi was a living embodiment of the Quran. He was living it. Today, non-Muslim comes to us, oh brother, I'm really interested, or sister, I'm really interested in the Quran. Am I going to say, look at my life? No. I'm going to say, brother, here's a translation of the Quran, take it. At that time, that wasn't the case. They used to point at a Sahabi and they said, there is the Quran, learn from him. Be like him. The Sahaba used to say, be like us. Today, can me and you go out in the society to non-Muslims and say, be like us? Okay, so we need to bring these things into life. The more we are, we will not need to give them dawah. We don't need to give anybody dawah. Our life will be dawah. Okay, I think we've spent 20 minutes. Okay, guidance in all walks of life. We touched on this. Rasulullah his life encompasses all things. Okay, it's not just ibadat. When we talk about Islam, whenever I talk about Islam, especially with some of the elders, they start thinking about namaz and zikr and Quran and fasting and sadaqah. Okay, these are all good things. But this is not everything. This is about 17, 18%, 20 max, 20% of Islam. Ibadat are only about 20% of Islam. What's the rest of it? Social life. He brought us the best of life. Who should be our friends? How should we be with our parents? How should we be with our children, right? What our social interactions should be like, okay? Commerce and economy, how to do business, how to run an economy. He established a system. He didn't just tell us pray namaz 5 times a day. He established a system, how to run a system. Human rights and relations, okay? Through the Seerah sessions, we're going to be looking at we're going to be looking at all of these things. We don't need to go into detail in all of these things. We're going to be looking at that. The knowledge and learning, yeah, okay. It was a part of etiquettes, how to do things, how to be nice to people. This is all kind of related. How to speak in gatherings, how to conduct yourself, how to be with a particular person, how do I walk the streets, you name it, everything, it's all in here. Hygiene. Doctors have accepted Islam when they looked at the sunnah of washing hands before eating. So what is the sunnah? Wash hands and then dry them before eating? How many say yes? How many say no? What's the rest of it? Okay. Do not dry them. So these scientists, these doctors, they wash their hands and they put it under a microscope and they look at the hands. And there were no germs in there. Before washing, they looked at it, there were little germs. How did Rasul know? He didn't have microscopes at that time or any scientific equipment to know that. He was getting the knowledge directly from Allah. This is why whatever he's done and said is coming directly from Allah, who is doing everything. You know, He knows the most, right? Allah is. There's no knowledge hidden from Allah, and He's directly descending it on Rasulullah. So when they dried it, right, with a towel or whatever, and then they looked at it again under a microscope, what did they see? They said, "Wow, how can a man know that 1400 years ago when we do not have any equipment? How can a man know the stages of birth of a baby inside the mother 1400 years ago?" Many doctors accepted Islam. Just those. Okay? Okay, virtues of the final prophet. Virtues of not the prophet, of the final prophet. Announced by all the prophets. All the previous prophets mentioned there is a prophet to come. And they said some very special things about him. Okay, they were announcing until the final prophet before Muhammad ﷺ. Who was the one before him? Isa alayhi salam. He was telling his people there is one more prophet to come. Everybody knows out there. People knew at that time that Isa alayhi salam was already mentioned. There is one more to come. Decided prophet long before any creation came into existence, millions of years before any creation, even Adam alayhi salam was created. Rasulullah was also decided as a final prophet. Isn't that amazing? It's one of the notes from him, right? Before even Adam alayhi salam is not born yet, and Rasulullah has been decided as a prophet. Look up the tafsir of Surah Yasin, you might find that in there, okay? So he's been decided as a prophet well before other prophets wanted to be in his ummah. And this is another amazing fact. We understand the concept of ummah, yeah? We know what ummah means? A nation, right? And who is the ummah today? Who's the ummah today? All of us, yeah? All of us are the ummah, okay? When some of the prophets found out about the virtues of this ummah, come on, you guys tell me the virtues of this. Does anybody know what's so special about us, the ummah of Rasulullah as opposed to the ummah of, let's say, Ibrahim and Islam or Musa alayhi salam, or Musa alayhi salam, a big ummah? Why are we special? Are we special? I know it doesn't look like it. Are we special? Yes, why? What? Tell me a virtue. Yeah, okay. It's directly attributed to the ummah though. Not only will Rasulullah enter before any other prophet paradise. It's haram on any prophet to enter paradise before Rasulullah. Similarly, it's haram on any ummah, any nation to enter paradise before. And that is a big thing. I know it might not seem like it, but you know what? You might. Let's say you're stuck in this big crowd, right? Massive crowd. We've all been in crowds. Do we like crowds? We don't like crowds. I don't like crowds. Especially when you're queuing up and waiting. Do we like crowds? We don't like crowds, right? What do you want to do in that situation when there's a big crowd and you're in a queue? What do you want to do? Skip the queue. Okay? You need some sort of a VIP type pass. You need somebody who can just take you and just bypass everybody else. You don't want to be in this crowdy and waiting. On the day of judgment, we're going to be waiting a long time. A long time. Extremely long time. In fact, it will be so long. You know when you're waiting for something, worrying about something. Okay? Now pay attention here. I need you to think about this. When you're waiting for something, really waiting. Yeah? And then you're worrying about it so much. What happens eventually? I can't take this anymore. Just whatever it is, just let it happen. Let it come. And this is exactly what the people on the Day of Judgment is going to be saying. You know what? This hellfire, just bring it. We can't take this weight anymore. We're sick of worrying about it. Okay? On this long day, just imagine getting to skip this queue. And it's like, okay, time to enter paradise, time to party. And we are given the priority ticket because of being in this ummah. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said you are the best ummah. He's already mentioned it. This was the key answer. In the Quran, Allah is saying you are the best ummah. Okay? So we are the best. Why? Because you call, it's a little bit like what Brother Zishan has said, we call people towards good and we'll stop people from evil. At least we should be doing that. That is why we are the best.
When you say ummah, you mean only Muslims,
What is the condition of entering paradise? What is the condition? You have to, if you don't have La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, there's no entry. And we can go into details on that, but that's basically for the Muslims. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant that to everyone. I'm going to rush through a little bit of this to finish, at least try and finish this slide. Imam of all the prophets. Okay, what does that mean? Imam of all the prophets. He led the prayer in the night of Miraj. Okay, and where was that? Where did this happen? Where did he lead the prayer? Hold on. Where did he lead the prayer? You know what? He led the prayer and 124,000 prophets were behind him praying. Don't worry about how that happened. Allah made it happen. Okay, in the night of Miraj. We're going to discuss the whole thing in the sessions to come. Where did this happen? Has anybody seen this place? No. It's a part of that night though. It's a part of that. I'm going to show you. I'll just show you. I wasn't going to show you, but I'll show you. Does anybody know what this is? Masjid Aqsa. Your father goes there 6 times a year. This is the place. We prayed Nawafil there. We prayed one Ishraq in this place. This is where he... You see it? This is in the compound of Aqsa, okay? This is where we did it. I have more videos, but we're running out of time. I know you like videos. They're very nice ones. So he's been the Imam of all the prophets, Allah and Prophet's name together till the Day of Judgment. What does that mean? Rasulullah ﷺ, he said, Ya Allah, you gave Dawud al-Islam such a great voice. To name meaning, okay, I don't know the exact sequence. Yusuf al-Islam, such a beauty, gave this prophet such and such thing, this prophet such and such thing, Ibrahim al-Islam was Khalilullah. What do you have for me? What do you have for me? So what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? Allah said? He's smiling, I'm assuming you know the answer. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him? What was the gift? Clue. Okay, yeah. It's not. Think a little bit more, the clue is there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to him, your name and my name will be together till the day of judgment. La ilaha illallah is incomplete without everybody knows the number, right? Okay, final one. Kings, priests and others were ready to accept Islam even before his birth. Never in history, and this is one for the notes again, never in history has this happened, that there is a prophet to come. He hasn't come yet, but there are people in the world ready to bring Iman in him. This has never happened before. First time in the history of mankind, there were kings, priests, knowledgeable people, and they were ready. They knew they've seen in their books and from their ancestors that there is going to be a prophet to come. And in fact, one of the kings, and I can't remember the name, one of the kings said to his people, if this prophet comes in my life, right? He's in my life and I'm just, if you're old, you can't travel and stuff like that, right? If this prophet comes in my life, bear witness that I testify to him being the prophet of Allah. Can you imagine that? This has never happened in the history. Before Ibrahim al-Islam came, somebody said, oh, if Ibrahim comes, I'll bring Iman in him, or Musa al-Islam. Never. But Rasulullah, people are ready already on earth before he's born. Notes. Does anybody know what this is? What this list is? And I'm going to end it with this.
The list of influential people.
Excellent. You've already got a gift, so I won't give you another one. Okay. Michael Hart. Has anybody heard of this name, Michael Hart? 2, 3, yeah, okay. 5. Some of you have. Michael Hart was you can say a politician. He was a very educated person. He decided to construct a list of 100 most influential people in history, in all spheres of life. Okay, he was a Christian by faith, and who's number one on his list? Who's number one on his list? It's there, right? Yeah. And he was criticized so much. Look at who's number 3 in the list. Who's number 3? Can you guys see from there? Yeah? Who's number 3 on the list? Isa al-Islam. And this guy is a what? He's a Christian. And who's he putting number 3? Isa al-Islam, his own prophet. And who's he putting number 1? Okay? And when he was asked, they said, what are you doing? How come you selected him? And to their words, and this is one for the homework again, go and you can see the entire list. You can see he's got politicians in there, he's got scientists in there, you can see Newton is there. He's got a lot of people, Martin Luther King and all these other people are there. I think Umar is there as well in this list. He said, I can't find any man better in history who has been so successful, these are his words, it's not mine, who has been so successful in religious and secular matters, both religious and secular. Secular means what? You guys know secular? Know anything secular? Non-religious matters. In fact, I wasn't really sure, I just looked it up. Okay, religious and secular, I've never seen anybody so successful as him. This is, and you know what? You'll find, if you Google around, you'll see a lot of people from other faiths. They do have the same thing. There is a video on YouTube. I was thinking whether to show it or not. Then I decided not to. But you can find it anyway. There was a Muslim who, in London, he took this book and he went around London and he asked a number of people, who do you think is the most influential person? He asked Muslims, non-Muslims both. Not a single person came up with Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and all these other answers. Buddha was one of them. He didn't mention him. Newton was mentioned by someone. Not a single person. And then when they were told, you should see their reaction. So this is on YouTube. Have a look. I've got it, but you can just do it in your own time. Okay, guys. So I think we're gonna, because of time restriction, we will close the session here. We'll now start any questions that you have next time. And mark this date in your diary. The next session is on. When's the next session? Next session, Sister Zara, is when?
I'll tell you 30th of November.
30th of November, 10 o'clock, here again, okay? I'm not here in the country in December, otherwise we would have done it in December because we've got once a month. That's also if you can provide feedback if you want like it more frequent, more often. At the moment we've kept it once a month, so it's easy for everyone to come. You might feel this big gap, I don't know, just give feedback afterwards, right? And there's a box, feedback box is there, papers are there. Do give feedback, you must give feedback. 30th of November, mark it in your diaries. I do want you to come back, and I want you to bring your friends this time. If you don't like it, you can't do anything about that, but bring your friends as well. 10 o'clock, 30th of November. The next thing that we're going to start talking about is the signs. What were the signs that were there even before the coming of Rasulullah? We're going to continue with that. We've not even got to the birth of Rasulullah yet, but it's and probably in the next session we won't as well, because I need to explain to you the circumstantial environment of Makkah, Medina, what the religions were, what the people in Arabia were like, and we've got some videos. Next one, we've got a very nice video. That will come up in the next session, okay? But because of time, we'll end it here. So are there any questions? And Sister S.A.W will write down the questions if I can't answer it right now. Any questions on today's session? It has to be on the content here, and no questions outside of the content here. Okay? Anyone? No questions? It was so good and so clear that there's no questions. Okay, well, you can ask me questions later on individually. If you feel shy now, that's not a problem. You can come to me and ask me if something was not clear. If you guys attend the whole thing, and you don't know how many months this is going to take, I might even decide to give you the presentation, but I won't now because of what I mentioned. I want you to take notes. There will be a quiz in a few sessions' time, so you'll need to remember this. You'll need to look at your notes, and then you can do well at the quiz as well. So we're gonna try and arrange that, and hopefully in a few sessions' time or in a few months' time, you might start to arrange activities and things like that. You never know. You never know. Okay?